Hello all, welcome to Kalam Learning Lab YouTube channel. So today I just want to discuss two important things that everybody are looking for jobs, but what exactly every company or any employer might be looking, or not might be, will be looking for the kind of person. And let us understand this concept at a learner perspective, okay? Maybe due to lockdown, if you closely observe this, in 2008, during 2008, when recession happened, many of them turned, to become insurance agents or sales. They got into sales and marketing. Many of them started working on real estate and all this stuff. But in 2020, when we had COVID, many of them became trainers because they had a lot of edutech, platforms and CRM softwares, and everybody started teaching online. Maybe somewhere we all are in the phase where we are getting more information, and somewhere it's getting like information overloaded. So that's where if you take two different parameters, one is learning curve and learning, and second is execution. Somebody started with some course and he told this course can be a life changing for you, and we enroll for that particular course and we learn something. So learning is something where you just know the subject, okay, and you start understanding how it works, but you have not experienced how the subject will affect you and your expectations. So that's what the model that everybody have to understand, that we are spending more time on learning curve. I mean, there is, if you take your time and your investment of money and time both, we all are spending more time on knowing something, that I know this, I know this, I know that, I know this, so that the curve for learning something is increasing more and more. But what is very important is not about just learning something, it's more of doing something. I mean, more concentrating more our time on learning. It's very, very important that we have to concentrate our time on executing something. That's very, very, very important. If we are not executing, and why it is very much important to execute is, when you are learning, we always analyze more, okay, we think, we analyze more, but when we execute, we work with reality. I mean, we will understand, acha, this is how it is, this is what it is, what I thought, it is not the same. For example, now Philip Kotler's marketing principles, maybe that will maybe the principle holds all the time same, but when you practically execute it, maybe you might experience something different. Maybe Indian context, it would be something different. So it's very, very important that more than learning curve, execution curve is what very, very important for us. And why do we fail to execute, rather than why do we enjoy learning, but why do we have a fear of when it comes to execution, why do we have that fear? The simple reason is, while you execute something, we have a result, and when you start doing something, there is a outcome for that, and when the outcome is a negative outcome, we all have a big fear. I mean, what if this will not work out, what if this will will trash out, or what if I lose something, or what if it will not happen in a proper way. But when it comes to learning, maybe we consume a lot, consume doesn't take anything, and we feel that I'm consuming a lot, I'm becoming more good in its subject. But at point when you start executing it, you will undergo lot of situations, and that situations will teach you better than whenever you learn something. So it's very, very, very important that as anybody who gets into teach something, or whenever whenever is teaching you, if someone is teaching you, it's very important that you consume that content at the same time, knowing your forgetting about what would be the risk. Anyhow, you're not investing your money for it, even though you know better, calculate the risk and try to implement what is taught. Because today more people who are knowledgeable or who know the subject, but very few people who have done with the subject. So we should shift the graph. I mean, the rising of the graph should be in execution mode, not in learning mode, because more consumption of knowledge will lead us to lead us towards confusion, but more execution will make us more perfect. We become more perfect. So that's where the key is. If we start executing what we have learned, we undergo situations, we undergo reality, and we will understand how this market works. Instead of assuming things, we will start validating. When you start validating, you will be confident. When you are confident, you can be commandable. When you are commandable, things will become more easier for you. So this video was about to tell you people, instead of just knowing the subject, let us do something with the subject. So knowing is one stepping stone, but the building is always execution. Let's start execution. Let's teach to learn. Thank you all.